In March of 1996, I decided to quit teaching. This decision transpired on the day that I learned of the murder of one of my former students. Jennifer Taylor disappeared a little over a year before they found her body, strangled and left in a barren field not too far from our school. I was overwhelmed. This was not why I had become a teacher. I became a teacher to inspire and to teach kids to think and to be excited about learning. And instead, I was counseling students while I was barely able to deal with my own grief. Indeed, I decided that day to quit teaching entirely. My first inclination after quitting teaching was to become a flight attendant. What more could you ask for than to jet about the world wearing cute skirts and motioning to your passengers that the exits are located at either end of the aircraft? So I went to the initial meeting, held at a local hotel, and there all 200 of us filled out an application, took a basic skills test, and introduced ourselves to the crowd. I was certain that I had scored better than anybody else on that test, until they let me know that I wasn't a good fit for their airline. So I decided to move to Denver, and after temping in an office for the summer and decided that I missed teaching just a little bit, I reluctantly accepted a job teaching history and German at Overland High School in Aurora, Colorado. But it wasn't the dream job I had gone to college to do. After experiencing extreme stomach pains, just days after starting my new job, I went to a therapist who told me I was probably overwhelmed by the pressure and gave me some anti-anxiety pills. Suddenly pain-free, I plotted my way through 3 years of teaching German and history when my department coordinator came to me with the proposition of teaching a new class, AVID. AVID, he said, it's a college prep course designed to help students in the middle to achieve their goals, to go to college, and earn 4-year degrees. I can do that, I thought. I would be teaching mostly underserved students again and making that difference that I went to college to do. My first day of AVID, I cried. How could I possibly do this? Marjane stormed in, saying that she hated her effing math teacher. Annie and Brittany almost got into a fight in the hall. Marche, who was perhaps the biggest yet quietest kid I had ever seen, when I told him where his seat was, he picked up his whole desk and moved it to the back of the room. I couldn't imagine how this was going to work. I called a teacher and mentor I knew from my school in Texas, and she asked if I remembered my first day there. Was it really like that, I asked? And thankfully, she reminded me of why I became a teacher not so many years ago, and for that I will be forever grateful. Through our 4 years together, that AVID class of 2003 brought my love of teaching back to me. I am absolutely sure that I learned as much from them as they did from me. We laughed a lot. We cried, of course, making Marche very uncomfortable. And we learned and grew. Our motto was "Go to your destiny," which they so nicely had printed across the butt of some sweatpants for me. Senior year, we struggled together through college and scholarship applications, and when everyone had been accepted to college, we celebrated together. But I knew our time together was coming to an end, and as I told them one tearful day, they were truly my reason for loving my job. I was happy and confident, and everything was perfect. And then one fateful afternoon in early May, just 2 weeks before their graduation, my 5-year-old son was molested by my next-door neighbor. My world crashed around me. And a few days later, when I returned to work, I was barely holding myself together. I walked into AVID, and right away, they asked me what was wrong. We had known each other long enough and shared enough, they reminded me, that as a family, they could see my distress. I lost it. I had vowed not to tell anyone, and certainly not my students. But I broke down and cried, and I told them my story. And the most amazing thing happened. The class came up and stood around me, and Petra said, "Let's pray." My first thought at that moment, of course, being a public school teacher, was, I'm going to lose my job. We can't pray in public school, I told them. But they prayed, and I prayed, and we hugged, and I realized then that I was truly meant to be a teacher, an AVID teacher. Today, Marche holds a diploma from UNC in Colorado, and he counsels young adults transitioning out of prison. Annie is almost finished with her degree to become an elementary school teacher, and she emails me her grades every semester. Brittany is a birthing coach and nurse in Key West, and Marjane is a youth recreation center coordinator with her degree, and I still see all 20 of them occasionally. Because we stay with our AVID classes for all 4 years, I've graduated 3 more AVID classes since then. Today, I have an 11th grade AVID class and 2 12th grade AVID classes. I certainly hope that I inspire them as much as they inspire me. And I know that you have had or you will have that same experience. Thanks to the AVID family.